Hi, I'm going to offer some thoughts, observations, critiques on the new Julia Nunes album. I wrote these. My motivation for doing this? Well, like a lot of people, I enjoy her as a performer, having discovered her on YouTube. Hopefully she'll find the feedback useful. I think this is a natural outgrowth of my interest in music, both as a musician and a listener, and partly as a consumer, and a certain degree of egotism. I'm going to focus on Into the Sunshine. There were some specifics about this track I wanted to look at, and there's some general observations that I think apply to the rest of the album. This is the first song I ever heard Julia do. I don't exactly remember how I found it. It may have been a featured video. That's maybe how I ran across it initially. I like it a lot. It's a good song. In comparison to the first album, the Left, Right, or Wrong, it was great to hear Julia record these songs. It was obviously not a high quality effort. This whole business of recording with one microphone I didn't think went over too well. I don't think they even did a great job of doing it the way they did it. Actually, looking at the whole picture, I think the version she's got on YouTube actually sounded better than the first album version. So the overall fidelity is obviously better here. It's still not what I would call a first-rate recording. It's partly due to technical issues and partly due to some performance choices that I would have done differently. The first of which is right at the introduction, where it's just the guitar and Julia singing. I don't know, I thought a wider stereo on the guitar would have sounded pretty good. Maybe just a personal taste issue.
The way you pull the fuzzies from my sweater, it doesn't make up for the times you let me sink into the floor and the lies you told.
Yeah, that counter melody thing they've got going on that sounds to me like the high register of a bass, or maybe some kind of a synth thing they're doing. It just didn't seem to be to me. It seemed to be kind of a wrong turn musically, in that it seems to get in the way, in my opinion. I thought it would have been an ideal place to highlight just the vocal and the guitar. That other thing, I think, just kind of unnecessarily muddies it. Her original YouTube version of this, where she's just singing along to the acoustic, I thought sounded great. And there's certainly nothing wrong with the arrangement on this album. With all the extra instruments, it really pops. It's well played. The bass part was well played, and it added a lot to the arrangement. However, I think the engineers made it a bit too boomy. I got similar feedback from some other folks I asked about to listen to this arrangement and see what they thought, the mix, and that was what some of them said, was they thought there was too much bass in it. Now, there was a part where I thought called out for doing something interesting that wasn't done right here.
My unconscious mind to the sunshine.
Here's what I thought would have really fit right there.
Tears of my unconscious mind to the sunshine. Tell me this, why do you run away?
Or something like that. It seemed to me, it just struck me as a perfect place for a jazz flute like that. Or even a flugelhorn. I actually thought there was a couple of places that might fit, maybe even make an extended break for it. But you may disagree. The other thing I wanted to address are the backing vocals, or the harmony vocals. Now, I thought she sang the crap out of the lead vocal, really knocked it out of the park, did a great job all the way around on that. But I thought there were some issues with the harmony vocals. Both the execution and the arrangement of them. This would theoretically be the hit song off this album. But I don't really see this as being a radio-ready recording. I really thought I don't know how they were done, if Julia works them out just in her head and just does them from memory, or if she actually sits down at a keyboard and figures them out, or I think they could stand to be re-looked at as far as the way she's harmonizing, and they could just be tighter. Now, some of them are better than others, but in many cases, I felt they really didn't advance any beyond what they are on her YouTube videos, which would seem to be part of the point of going into a studio and doing it like this. And they did some things on some of the tracks where the harmony vocals were panned hard left and right, which I didn't think worked for various reasons. And the other issue I had was the overall balance of the album. One track to another seemed a bit off, considering it had been through both a professional mixing and mastering process. Now, all that having been said, I would still recommend getting the album. If you like Julia Nunes, you're going to like the album. I tend to listen to things with a technical ear, so I thought I'd share my thoughts. And Julia, if you're listening, keep plugging away. Good luck with this and all your future projects.